Good morning. Yesterday we discussed classification of igneous rocks given by G.W. Terrell, known by the tabular classification. In classification continuation, today we are going to discuss the International Union of Geological Sciences IUGS classification, which is after Albert Streckensen 1973, who proposed classification of plutonic and volcanic rocks in double triangles QAPF according to the actual mineral content. Now in the diagram, this is for plutonic rocks. You can very well see that this is Q and A alkali feldspar. This is your P plagioclase feldspar. So this is one triangle QAP. Similarly, the other triangle is your A alkali feldspar, plagioclase and feldspathoids. So this is double triangle, and the corners are your quartz, alkali feldspar, plagioclase and feldspathoids. Now a rock can either be plotted in this triangle or in this triangle. It cannot simultaneously be plotted in both the triangles because quartz and your feldspathoids, they are incompatible. They are never found together as ancient mineral in a rock. If quartz and feldspathoid they are mixed, they will form a compound feldspar. So in other words, this feldspathoid bearing rock is a silica poor, whereas quartz bearing rock is a silica rich. So that's why they are never such rocks, or say the minerals in such rocks are never found together. So this is QAPF. The mafic minerals, they are not considered in this. Suppose now want to plot a rock having 50% mafic minerals and 15% alkali feldspar, 20% plagioclase and 15% once again I say, because you all know that rocks, they are observed under microscope, different minerals are identified and their actual percentage is calculated by your model analysis. And in model analysis, suppose you find that a rock has 50% mafic minerals, 15% your quartz, 20% alkali feldspar and 15% your plagioclase feldspar, where the composition of a rock having that mineral content will be plotted. As I told you that mafic minerals are not considered, so the rest QAP, they will be recalculated to 100. So we get quartz as 30, alkali feldspar is 40 and plagioclase as 30%. Now such rock of that composition will be plotted somewhere here, and this is the field of the granite. Now if a rock having small amount of mafic minerals, then the term leuco is prefixed before its name, say leucogranite. But if a rock has large amount of mafic minerals, that is mela is prefixed before that plutonic name, so it will be having mafic minerals, that will be called mela granite. The other way is that if there are more than 2 or say 2 mafic minerals, the least is written first, followed by the larger one having larger concentration. For example, hornblende biotite granite, it means hornblende is in lesser amount than biotite, and that quartz orthoclase is there as essential mineral. So that a rock having such composition will be called hornblende biotite granite. Now you can see these fields of various rock types in this QAP. This in field for your granite. Naturally this end is rich for your alkali feldspar, so your cyanides rock will be plotted, and this end is rich for your plagioclase. So your rock gabbro, norites, they will be plotted in this side. And as we move this side, quartz content increases, right? As we move towards this side, alkali feldspar, and a rock of equal amount of your, can say, alkali and your plagioclase will be plotted somewhere, that is the monzonite, such varieties. So likewise we can plot the different plutonic rocks in this. Similarly on this side also, the plutonic rocks having large amount of your feldspathoids will be plotted this side, and with lesser amount of feldspathoids they will be plotted here. For example, say your nepheline cyanide. Cyanide is here, right? Nepheline, it will increase, the rock will be plotted somewhere here. So likewise we can plot different rock types in these plutonic rocks. Now the end members, I told you this is QAP, means quartz, alkali feldspar, plagioclase. This is your alkali feldspar, plagioclase, and your feldspathoids. The mafics, they are not considered, right? Similarly, this can be also for your volcanic rocks. This is again same. This end is quartz. This is your quartz. This is your alkali feldspar. This is your plagioclase feldspar. These are the fields of different volcanic rocks. Here, the equivalent to your granite. This is your rhyolite field. Naturally, this is trachyte will be plotted. Basalt will be plotted here. Your this phonolite rocks, they will be plotted here, right? So this is separate. That separate QAP for plutonic and volcanic rocks. So I told in my one of the earlier lectures that mineralogical classification is of more significance to a geologist, because it not only takes into consideration the composition of magma or liquid from which it crystallized, but it also says about its cooling history. Same chemical composition under different cooling conditions may result into different type of minerals. So in that set, the mineralogical, secondly, it is quicker, it is faster, it can be observed even the field if the rock is phaneritic. So plutonic is for the, you can say, for the phanerocrystalline, and this volcanics, they naturally, the minerals are observed or they are seen under microscope, and on that basis this is given. So these separate, you can say, double tetrahedra, or you can say the double triangle diagrams are separate for plutonic rocks and for the volcanic rocks. The volcanic rocks are also named on the basis of similar triangle arrangement. This is in shown, this is for the volcanic rocks, figure 2. So this is how IUGS, International Union of Geological Sciences, has adopted this mineralogical classification, which was given by Albert Streckenson in 1973, 76, 79, and now it has been adopted by IUGS, International Union of Geological Sciences, as the mineralogical classification of igneous rocks. So this is all for this for today. If you have any doubts, any questions, you have my WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp, you can mail, or you can call me, the way convenient to it. But now we are advancing towards the next classification that we'll discuss on the next, because it is not possible, we'll discuss on the next turn, that is the TAS classification, total alkali silica diagram, or you can say total alkali silica plotting of the rocks. That is the TAS classification. So today's what topic was IUGS classification of igneous rocks, and here I complete with saying that if you have any doubts, you are welcome anytime. You can mail me, you can WhatsApp, you can call me, but try to understand and remember it. Thank you very much. That's all for today. See you. Have good luck.